In the 1970s, Jamaica's economy shrank so badly that everyday life collapsed. Families fled. Jobs disappeared. Debt swallowed the nation whole. Fast forward to today, unemployment is at historic lows, debt is falling fast, and the world is watching. But here's the question: are we finally standing on solid ground, or just standing quietly on another shaky cliff? Setting the stage: 60 years, 60 lessons. When Jamaica gained independence in 1962, it wasn't just freedom we were handed, it was the key to a future in which we could shape ourselves. There were big dreams, a booming economy, pride swelling in the hearts of Jamaicans. But that future would be anything but easy. Every generation since independence has faced a different battle for survival. One fought not just on political stages, but in supermarkets, in schools, and in homes. Now, the most important question: are we finally winning? The 1960s, the golden spark, but hidden cracks. The 1960s were a time of glitter and growth. Jamaica's economy roared, growing at around 5 to 6% annually. Bauxite mining was booming. Tourism was rising. We looked unstoppable. But beneath the shiny surface, cracks were already forming. Unemployment was stubbornly high, around 20%, even as money flowed in. And nearly all the growth came from a few industries controlled by foreign giants. The truth? We were building castles in the sand, beautiful to look at, but deeply vulnerable to the tides ahead. The 1970s, dreams turned to dust. The 1970s hit Jamaica like a hurricane, and not just weather-wise. A sharp, ideological turn toward democratic socialism collided with oil shocks and global recessions. The economy didn't just slow, it collapsed. Between 1973 and 1980, Jamaica's economy shrank by an average of 2.4% per year. Inflation soared past 20%. Unemployment ballooned. Debt piled up like a mountain. And hope drained from the streets. The promises of the 60s turned into the protests of the 70s. The 1980s, structural adjustment and a nation in pain. A new government promised a turnaround. Instead, the 1980s brought brutal medicine, structural adjustment, privatization, liberalization, deregulation. The economy wobbled under the pressure. Growth stayed below 1%. Debt exploded, with Jamaica becoming one of the most indebted countries per person on Earth. And then came Hurricane Gilbert, flattening homes, businesses, and dreams. In the 1980s, hope wasn't just battered by politics, it was battered by the storms of heaven themselves. The 1990s, the mirage of liberalization. The 1990s dawned with new ideas: open up markets, welcome investment, build prosperity. It started well, but it didn't last. Banks collapsed. The government bailed them out through FinSac, triggering another mountain of debt. Unemployment hovered around 16%. Growth stagnated. Inflation in the early 90s topped 80%. Families lost their savings. Businesses disappeared overnight. The system cracked wide open. Banks shut their doors, and with them, the dreams of thousands of Jamaican families. After decades of heartbreak, something had to change. The question is, did we finally find the secret formula for survival? Or are we once again standing at the edge of another cliff? The 2000s, trapped by debt and global shocks. By the 2000s, Jamaica was stuck. The debt crisis of the 90s lingered like a heavy chain. Debt hovered around 135 to 147% of GDP. Growth barely moved. Public debt sucked up half the government's budget, starving education, healthcare, and infrastructure. And then, boom, the global financial crisis of 2008 hit hard. Exports collapsed, tourism slumped, remittances dried up. The world caught a cold. Jamaica caught pneumonia. The 2010s, the long road to recovery. The 2010s brought pain, but also progress. Governments, both PNP and JLP, agreed. The debt mountain had to come down. And so, with the IMF, with social partnerships, and with brutal fiscal discipline, Jamaica cut its public debt from a suffocating 144% to 95% by 2019. Primary surpluses, debt exchanges, budget freezes, inflation dropped, unemployment began to fall. But growth still lagged, limping at less than 1% most years. We had learned how to walk carefully, but we hadn't yet remembered how to run. The 2020s, a new beginning, then came 2020, and the world shut down. COVID-19 crushed Jamaica's economy, shrinking it by almost 10% in a single year. But something remarkable happened. Jamaica rebounded faster than many predicted. By 2024, debt had fallen to about 68% of GDP, the lowest in 25 years. Unemployment hit a historic low, around 3.6%. Inflation cooled, moving towards 5 to 6%. Tourism roared back stronger than before. Today, Jamaica stands stronger, smarter, and more resilient. But the scars are still there. Low productivity, high crime, climate change threats. The healing has begun, but the disease hasn't been fully cured. 4 powerful bonus facts. First, Jamaica reduced its debt faster than almost any other country in the world over the last decade. Second, Jamaica now boasts one of the lowest unemployment rates in the Caribbean. Third, despite COVID-19, Jamaica's tourism industry rebounded to pre-pandemic levels faster than even many wealthy nations. Fourth, Jamaica's banking system is now among the most regulated and resilient in the region, a world away from the collapses of the 1990s. So, are we in the best shape? Here's the truth. Jamaica today isn't perfect, but compared to the battles fought across the past 60 years, from economic collapse to runaway debt to financial meltdowns, we are standing taller than we have in generations. We have stability, we have resilience, and we have a chance, a real chance, to build something lasting, something powerful. Our grandparents fought to break chains. Our parents fought to survive debt. Now it's our time to fight for growth, for innovation, for true prosperity. The best chapter of Jamaica's story, it hasn't been written yet. It's waiting for us. If this journey through Jamaica's incredible fight for economic survival moved you, subscribe now to Impacting Jamaica. Every story we share is about finding strength through storms, just like Jamaica did. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover more stories of resilience, hope, and unstoppable faith.